So yesterday, hard session. Today, all about recovery, all about staying in zone one. What does zone one actually mean? Like, unless you get in the lab and test it, zone one means nothing to most of you. Even if you're dedicated runners, you've probably heard of different zones and what they, unless you get in the lab, you don't know your zones. Simple as that. But zone one for me is 91 beats to 130. So it's really slow, especially outdoors in those conditions today. It's a hot heat, I was about to say. It's a dry heat, which is 43 degrees at the moment. So I'm jogging as slow as I possibly can. Obviously I've got my shirt off, and I'm jogging as slow as I possibly can, and it feels as if I'm hardly moving forward, and I'm just about staying under 130 beats per minute. Sometimes if you're going over that 130 beats and the session is to stay in zone one, then you're going to have to stop and walk and let the heart rate cool down. Even out there, it'll cool down, let the heart rate come down. But then even out there, if I'm walking and if I'm walking quickly, my heart rate can get up to 90, 100, 110, even just walking. Whereas usually if I'm walking around on the flat, it can be between 65 and 80 beats. My resting heart rate is 38. So out there, I'm just moving super slow, and it's so slow. It's not painfully slow because I know it's doing the job that it's supposed to do. Today's session, the purpose of the session is to recover as optimally, as fast and as full as I can, so that tomorrow I can go a little bit quicker, day after I can go a little bit quicker, and then I can hit that hard session with fresh legs. So that looks today super slow. And to give you an idea of how slow that is relative to me and how that can apply to you, like I was running 6 minutes, 6:15, 6:20 per kilometer out there. Whereas if I'm doing a faster session, if I'm doing a marathon training session, which is fast for me because I'm used to ultra marathon running, I'm running 3 minutes per kilometer, or I'm running 250 per kilometer, or 310. So between 250 and 310 per kilometer is what I'm running on a fast session. So I'm doing it at least twice as slow out there in order to stay in zone one because of the heat. Now, if that was back home in the UK, if that was back home in Manchester, or if it was back home in Granada in the south of Spain, in the UK, I'd be much faster in zone one below 130 beats because it's much more easy to go quicker in cool conditions, which would feel super cool for me relatively at 15-20 degrees, whatever it is at the moment. I think it's a bit hot this weekend, but back in Granada, even at 35-40 degrees, which is what it is now, it's a different type of heat, so I would still get more speed for my zone one below 130 beats. So it's all about where you are, and don't be afraid for it to feel almost uncomfortably slow. Got to make it a game. So even those easy sessions, even those recovery runs, make it into a game. How comfortable can you be? So can you line up your toe, your ankle, your knee, your hip? Can everything be the perfect style of the runner? Are your arms by your side and coming up to round about your nipple height, so that you're an efficient runner, so that when you start to go faster, that's your practice running. Bear in mind that's like 60 to 80% of your running. So that's a great time to practice your running, so that when you get faster and add speed, naturally your style is better. You're a better runner, and that's a great time to practice. It's a game for me to stay under 130 beats. So even out there's a couple of times when I've just got to stop and walk in order to lower my heart rate in order to move forward in zone one. So make it play, and that's incredible. If you make sport into play for kids, they'll stick at it, and it still works for adults. So go easy.